Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about Wet n Wild makeup products. Wet n Wild, as most of you know, is a makeup brand that's available at drugstores such as CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Target. I'm going to be talking about 7 different products from the Wet n Wild brand. I'm wearing all of them on my face right now. There are some downsides to this product, but mostly great products, felt great on the skin, wears well, and comparable to a high-end brand. So let's get right into it. So the first product I want to talk about is the foundation. This product I've been using for 2 years now. This is Wet n Wild Photofocus Foundation. I'm in the color Toffee. I thought this applied very well. I did use a different brush than I normally use to apply this foundation because I found that when I used the buffing brush that I normally use, it did not apply as well as when I used a foundation brush like this. And this is just a simple foundation brush. This is actually by the brand Equate from Walmart. When you use a brush like this with this foundation, it is so full coverage. It's surprising, like when I put it on, I'm just always amazed at how full coverage and matte it is. And I don't prefer matte foundations, but this doesn't feel too drying. However, I do use a setting spray which helps with it because after you do put it on, after a while it can feel a little bit drying. So the one drawback to this is it has a very strong chemical scent. This color is a challenge to find. My local Target, they have a huge array of colors for Wet n Wild for this foundation, but they don't have Toffee. The majority of the stores do not have this color. If you want to try it and you can't find it in a local drugstore, then you can find this on Ulta.com. The next product I've been using is the Megaglow makeup stick. It's the contour stick. It's in the color Where's Walnut. This contour stick is probably my favorite among all of the products, the 7 products I'm using here. There's only 4 colors available. This gives me subtle definition. It's very smooth. It blends out easily. It's a great overall product. It's only $4.50. This is a surprise win for Wet n Wild. Next is the Wet n Wild Photofocus Setting Powder. Mine is in the color Banana. This is also one of the pricier products of all the ones that I've purchased. I think it's even more expensive than the foundation. It's a great color for my skin tone. It's got a nice big cap, very finely milled. It brightened my under eyes really nicely. It feels good on my skin, no itchiness or anything like that. And I only put this underneath my eyes, down my nose, a little bit on my forehead and my chin. So the rest of the area, I actually didn't use a setting powder. I didn't really need to. Foundation is extremely mattifying and the contour just doesn't make me oily at all, so I didn't feel like I needed to set the face. $7.99. This is a very good at drugstore setting powder. I love this primer water. It's a 3-in-1 primer water. So you can use this to prep your face. So this could be the first thing you do before you put on your foundation. Then again, to set your face at the end. I used it right after I finished all my powders before I did my eye makeup because it was already feeling a little dry. And it's super refreshing. I don't always use a setting spray when I do my makeup, only if I'm feeling dry. And definitely with this brand, the foundation, if you're dry skin, this foundation is drying and it's matte enough to where you do want to use a primer water. If you don't have one, this is a great one. Smells like rose water, sprays really evenly and nicely. Spray, it's not, because sometimes spray bottles have bad sprays and that can be very annoying, especially when you've finished all of your makeup and then you don't want like globs of water on your face. So this is a really nice spray bottle. I like that they took note of that. Even though they're an inexpensive brand, they invested in a good quality spray bottle. This retails for $3.20. So this is a really good buy. This is worth trying out. I just loved how this worked on my skin. I tried 2 highlighters because both of these had great reviews. This one I had been using, I liked it. This is the one on this side of, this is the one on this side of my face. It is in the color Crown of My Canopy. You have to apply this quite a few times and you gotta pick up a lot on your brush and keep applying, and I've applied probably about 3 different strokes to get to this color, which I like. I don't mind that. I like with highlights, just building it up subtly so that it's not blinding off the bat. This one is blinding off the bat. A very little goes a long way. This is a very, very popular product. That's why I was so curious to try it. It's loose though, you know, and I don't mind a loose setting powder because I feel like a finely milled powder really just makes your skin look super smooth. But this can get really messy, and because there's already this highlighting powder and it's also a really good one, I would probably go with this one over this one. This one, I like the color of this though. This is in I'm So Lit, and it's kind of like a nice champagne-y color. A little bit more on the lighter white side than this one. Just is definitely more of a pink undertone. This is a 10 pan eyeshadow palette. They have several of these different color ranges. This is called Nude Awakening. I just love this palette in terms of the colors that they included. And there's a mini tutorial on the back of this eyeshadow palette. They have all of these eyeshadows numbered and then a picture of an eye to show you where each color should go. So if you don't know anything about makeup, this is a great guide. So I love the fact that this is such a small palette. The pigment came through pretty good. For an inexpensive eyeshadow palette, this is like $7.99. It doesn't blend as easily as a higher quality shadow, but you can still blend it out. It's a little bit longer to blend it out. Of course, you want to use an eyeshadow primer. I did have to apply the shimmers with my finger because when I applied it with the brush, it did not come through as well. In my crease, I used these two transition colors, the black, this darker maroon, and then I used this color on my lid. And I used this in the inner corner, and this came through really nicely on my inner corners of my eyes. Like white shadows don't really come through really well when I do an inner corner highlight, but I thought the white one in here did. So if you have other palettes with these colors, would I recommend it? No, not necessarily. Unless you want to travel with something smaller. You do have to carry a brush separately. I think that's a little bit of a downside because I feel like with drugstore makeup, you know, a lot of people are just grabbing this and going on the run. They don't necessarily have brushes, right? So not using anything else on my eyes except for this palette. I have palettes that have like, you know, over 20 colors in it, but don't have the proper transition colors that I need. This has two nice dark colors, so I didn't have to jump around to any other eyeshadow palettes. I really love that about this as well. Last but not least is the liquid lipstick. This is the liquid Catsuit, and this is in the color I Don't Desert You. I mean, this is just an overall great value, great product. I will definitely buy more of these. I don't know how well the other colors will apply. This was the darkest of the ones that I could find. And this is in the liquid Catsuit metallic lipstick line. There's one where it's just matte lipsticks. As you can see, it has a very subtle metallic finish, but I like it. It's different. A lot of dark red lips from different brands, but I like how they added the metallic aspect of it, and it's still very subtle, and so I just think this is a standout in the drugstore period. It applies just like you would expect a drugstore brand liquid lipstick to apply. It's not very pigmented, but that's what makes it special because you don't have to apply a lot. So just one application is good for like everyday wear. I normally would not wear a liquid lipstick like to work or throughout the day because I feel like it's very drying, but this didn't feel drying at all. And I think it's because it's not very pigmented. It just translates into just a more smoother satiny finish, but yet it's opaque and it covers everything. I remember the first time I ever tried a liquid lipstick from a drugstore brand. I don't remember what the brand was, but it left gaps. Like I kept having to reapply it, and then when I would reapply it, it would get patchy. This didn't do that. They have colors without this metallic finish. I haven't tried that yet, but this was $5.50. Such a great quality. I haven't tried any of the other colors, but this is highly recommended, and I would try this. If you're not able to find any of the colors that I talked about in my video, then you can always go onto Ulta.com. You can even try the drugstores online. WetnWild actually has a website themselves. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of WetnWild makeup. And if you have any more questions that I have not answered in the video, feel free to comment down below. Would love to answer them for you. And please like this video if you enjoyed watching it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!